Holy crap. Hello, my dear ones. Holy moly. We're moved in. We're moved in. This is the third. What is tomorrow, the fourth? Holy crap. We've been busting butt, man. We're in, though. This is my new back wall. So we're in and doing pretty good that way. Oh, did I just happen to find something on the way here? Oh, my God. No, you can't have it. There's only a few because of the hurricane. This is the mango factory on Pine Island, outside of Fort Myers. They took a hit, too. Of course, Pine Island took a major hit, sadly. Wiped one little town totally off the map. But he still has some. These are like rare Valencia Prides, baby. Jensen used to fly down here just to get these puppies. And the trees, I lost 2 big Valencia Pride trees with the hurricane, and they were taller than this 10-foot ceiling. I couldn't get up in them. They were so tall. The hurricane wiped them right out. Oh, this is going to be good. I only got 7 of them, but my other trees are busting. I've got a little pygmy mango that's, I think it's either a pineapple mango or a cocktail mango or something like that. Oh, last year I only had 1, and it was so good. And I'm going, come on. And this year the tree's going, here, 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 here. And I got another mango tree. I don't know what it is. I've got a nice sized mango about that big from it. This is really kind of a small Valencia Pride. Well, I appreciate you putting up with us. We're going to be down for just a couple of days, but we've been kicking butt, man. Oh, I tell you, like I said, the worst part about moving for me is the library. Oh my God. I got my cameraman. He's going to come in and take you on a tour of our new place. Yep. But, if you ever moved your library, you know how heavy books are. And I'm finding all kinds of little goodies. I mean, we just found a 1908 book. I've got some of the old books here. Jensen had some old books, but there's no room to put them. I remember this. You guys remember this? My daughter made this for me. Isn't that cute? Adrenal tonic. But this is exactly how we want the young people to think. We want to let them think about health. Genetics, how to understand genetics in a simplistic way. They don't understand it at all, so come on, man. So this is exactly the way you teach your children. So they can grow up and be interested in herbs, be interested in health, be interested in the finer things and the higher things of life instead of just the grunt, low-level crap that's going on right now. I kill you, you kill me. I don't like your race, I'll kill your race. How high do you think that is on the scale of evolution? You know, I hear what some of the other beings are saying about this planet. So, but anyway, I hope this finds you well. This is kind of a year I've noticed where things are cleaning up. Karma is kind of getting cleaned out, and you're able to bring in some new focuses and stuff like that. We're still a good month and a half away from our new line of Herbal Formulas. These are done, handcrafted the old-fashioned way, so it takes a lot longer to produce one little bottle of tincture if you do it the right way. It takes it takes a while because we're using the percolation way, and between that and maceration, you've got 3 weeks, 4 weeks. You'd like to do it lunarly, on the new moon, more energy and power into these formulas. You know, that's what people have to realize. These are living beings. These little plants, we just dry them out and everything else, and it just keeps that chemistry and everything just right. When you dry herbs, that's another art of drying herbs properly. Shade drying and all this sort of thing, absolutely. These are precious little beings with chemistry in there that's just for you. So as a lab, you want to really have that consciousness of that, because these formulas are just not money-making formulas. These formulas are there to help the individual that's taking them. I take very seriously the quality of my formulas and the ability that they have to help you. Because why you spend your money for them if they're not going to help you? You know, that's a problem. I had health food stores, 1972? Maybe one, but 72 for sure. And it's supplements. Well, I'm a raw foodist. I'm a fruitarian thinker. Couldn't do it that time, but so the concept of treatment and isolating constituents out of a chemical compound is ridiculous to me, because yeah, you just like pharmaceuticals, they're looking for the active principles, then they can take that active principle. But an active principle in an herb, an alkaloid or whatever, can kill your butt if you're not careful, if you overdo it. But if you take the plant, it's balanced. And that's the problem. Except when you get into like a poke root, blood root, you know, some of these roots like that are strong, no question. But you're supposed to be aware. See, that's the whole thing. When you start playing with herbs, you should have some awareness about them. I had a young guy call me, this is a lot of years ago, and he called me and he said, Dr. Morse, I think I'm going to die. I go, why? What'd you do? He goes, I overdid poke root. I go, oh, man. So, you know, you overdo stuff, just get chlorophyll, anything rich in chlorophyll, deep breathe, and try to get something like plantain, which is more of a leafy type of lymphatic, which neutralizes poisons. You know, so you kind of got to go that way if you overdo something like that. But herbs, you don't have to overdo them. They're there to give you. And so that's the beauty. That's why I love formulas. I just love formulas. I've said this before. This planet is lacking in formulas, herbal formulas, and the understanding of them. I mean, I look at all these herbalists out there, and I'm sorry, and forgive me, but a lot of them are a joke. You know, you go to school, you most of these herb schools, you can go, okay, I passed. Get in clinical work with them. It's one thing to know an herb, burdock, sheep sorrel, water. It's one thing to know them, but it's another thing to understand them, their consciousness, and how to use them. And then how to use them in a team effort. You know, when you start butting up people, they got to have some harmony with them, or you don't have a good team. Same thing with herbal formulas. There got to be some harmonious interactions with those herbs. And so that's where, when you kick back from your thinking and you allow yourself a higher view of it, one from consciousness, and then you bring that astral feeling in and you feel their essence. Then you start to understand them more and how they work with others better, you know. So I'm excited to get these out. It's going to be a good month and a half, hopefully not 2 months, but there's a lot going into it. I've got 43 new formulas. And, here's some eyes. Ooh, Lordy mercy. Let's take a look what this is. Andu. And this is 30-day juice fast with 6-inch worms coming out. Pics included. I hope this inspires others. Oh! Yeah, baby. Where's all my worms and stuff? Oh, do I still have them down here? I'll show you. I got some tumors down here too. I love you from the bottom of my love, you guys. You kick butt, man. I tell you what. Now you know why I always deworm people. You know, I know. I had this. She was only about 17, and she was a single mom living with her parents. Unfortunately, poor thing. And I was helping her, and so she was pretty gut sick, right? So I started deworming her. Well, she was in high school and an artist type of girl, you know, and she started drawing all the worms and flukes and things she saw leaving her butt. And her parents freaked out. Now, I warned her already that if she has worms, you're going to see them, right? No big deal. Ladies just can't handle worms inside of them for some reason. But her parents freaked out, took her up here to a hospital up in Bradenton. The ER doc told her, oh, there's no such thing as parasites in Americans. Can you believe that? So they kept her there. It was 6-7 hours. Called a psych doc in on her and everything else. Finally, she was able to give them a stool sample. They sent it to the lab, and they came back and released her and said, yeah, there's some unusual stuff here. Dumbasses kept that poor girl and the family stressed out for what? You're a medical doctor. You don't understand. We got a world of parasites. What'd you go to school for? Diseases. That's it. But you want to take seriously because all of you got parasites in you. You know, whether it's a bacterium or a fungus or something like that. Now, the microbes are more bioactive for your terrain. But so's the worms, I guess, and everything else. You know, E. coli, they all just love dead animal stuff. So your diet directly affects what kind of seeding is going to go on in you. And then if you're deworming yourself, I want you to remember this one is, wait about 30 days and take this parasite G&M again because remember the eggs. Yeah, there's always eggs and there's always a rehatching and oh my God, it can be pretty gruesome when you think about it. Anybody as a hunter ever cut open a deer or something, you can find worms in which kind of live kind of harmoniously with the animal. You have been an amazing inspiration over the years, and after having bouts of tachycardia, wow, man, pre-cellulitis on my right leg and a plantar fasciitis on same leg. Ooh, so right leg, right kidney. Huh, yeah, right leg, right kidney. I think we have. I apologize, I can't pronounce your name. Andulaiarah. Heck of a name, my friend. But man, you did good. Okay, and I thought enough was enough. I embarked on a 30-day fruit-only juice fast and lost 18 pounds. I lost 15 pounds in 3 days on a water fast. Well, 14 pounds. On day 14, my bowels really started hurting. Ooh, gurgling and burning. Oh, well, you know, you might have been leaching out of that wall. You know, sulfur, who knows, right? We'll be looking. I think she has her eyes on her. He has his eyes in it. I had no idea what was going on, but I was about to find out. I had days after that of expelling worms. Look at that. One over 6 inches long. They kept coming and coming, and I thought it would never end. Holy crap. The smell of them was a putrid, rotting death smell, like I couldn't even describe. All my symptoms cleared away. Look at that. I used to have the worst cracked feet ever, and someone said to me on my YouTube channel that intestinal worms can cause cracked feet. I have silky feet now after the juice fast. My GI tract must have been very dirty. Yeah, I mean, it's a sewage. I mean, yeah, and especially if you're a meat eater. Meat and dairy. I mean, oh, man, they make that sewer system nasty. You know, you don't have the putrefaction, so in the grains and stuff, but still, that's pretty funny. Here are some pics of these ghostly critters. I even had a baby one come out with all the body parts still intact. Ho ho! Pic of what it also included. Oh, my juice journey was documented here. So here's a place that you can go for her or his. Okay? I've also included my eyes. I think it shows my GI tract is not the best of health, but certainly better than it was. Thank you for ever wisdom. Oh, thank you. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, okay. All right. So you can see the burning. All right. So what do we got here? We got a right eye, maybe. And take a look. Okay. So what we have is a brown eye, right? Oh, no, we don't have a brown eye. We have a blue eye. But if I'm not mistaken, that's orange. So that's where the burning came from. The sulfur was burning them. Look at that crap. The words were living in the sulfur shit. Look at all this. Of course, we want to look at this. Look at all these lacunas here. We want to talk about these, right? Because I don't like that. I don't like this, all right? If this is right, I think I've got my pin on the kidney. If not, it's over on this side. I have to look. But let's take a look at you because you got some lacunas here that you need to look at. But still, yeah, a lot of sulfur in there. Definitely malabsorption from the wall. And so I assumed that the wall was discharging itself, which is pretty cool when you look at the body. The body wants to get rid of this stuff. It's in a cationic environment you can't get rid of because that is an agglomerative environment. It's an anionic environment you get rid of things. And there's some lymph nodes, right? There's some lymph nodes right there. Oops. Get over here, finger, right there. Blood vessels are popped out. If you look at her sclera, she's got a lot of these blood vessels. So the whites of your eyes show that your body is very acidic. Plus, your eye needs to be blue, right? And I finally got all my pictures, but bluer. And they will too, as you start moving this lymph, because you have like at the subacute level of lymph and then the acute levels. Okay, so let's assume this is the right eye, all right? So I'm looking at a right leg, very weak genetically. I'm looking at a very chronic, honey, right kidney. You want to just take those kidneys and love on them, make sure you're filtering, all the good stuff that we talk about, because I'm not, and you'll forgive me, but this is probably a male, but it could be a female. I don't know names in some of these countries, so I apologize. Either way, when we're looking at this, we either have a prostate or a uteri in trouble. The wall is heavily lymphatic up. This is either the vaginal wall or the penis. With that said, we've got bladder weakness on top of that. With a kidney like that, you're going to have some bladder weakness with it. And then all the lower back stuff goes with it. All the way from mid T-spine all the way down, looks like to me. And then just a tad up T, maybe mid T. And then you've got some throat, parathyroid genetics, and tonsil genetics. So parathyroid genetics, and that's why I see the leg. I move over to the groin and hip. They got issues with that. Your right ovary has some minor weaknesses in it, or right testicle, right? That also pulls up into the pancreas. There is some suppression of pancreatic function, but you need to move the lymph better out of that. Now, you've got a ballooning or a lacuna locked right in the bowel wall. See that? And where is that? Gallbladder. So, either the bowel's influencing the gallbladder or that's a herniation of the bowel wall. I'm going to say that's probably your gallbladder. Yeah, it doesn't hurt either way because you got to fix it either way, right? So you need to clean the liver out anyway and get that lymph moving. Your lymph is where it is. Now, look at this darkness right here. See that darkness? That's the lower lobe of the right lung. So you want to start breathing abdominally instead of thoracic. Thoracic breathing is, you just sit there and don't realize you're just shallow breathing. You have to retrain yourself because you don't start breathing right until you get yourself halfway healthy. It's amazing how you lose proper breathing as your body gets more acidic. So you want to start and breathe down here. You want to move this first, right? You don't want to move your shoulders with your first breath. You want to move your abdominal or tummy, whatever you want to call it. I didn't move this, did I? Right? Now watch this. I'm full. I pulled air down in the lower lobes. Now I filled the upper lobes. Now I've got the lower lobes, I got the upper lobes. And then keep doing that, and then you're going to get mucus hawking up. But you've got a genetic weakness in that area, really important to take some lung formulas. A lot of congestion in the bronchi, mid-lobe weakness for sure in the lung part, lower lobe. So they want to be careful with that. With that said, we've got right ear and right cerebellum. Now that's equilibrium, dizzy, vertigo. Now I'm saying these, and you've got strong genes. They're even strong genes. If you look through this, you see fairly strong genes. You see how the trabecula is fairly straight even through that? So it's a lymphatic. It's snuffing it. And this is the perfect way to show you, and I think Jensen was clued on that, even though it didn't understand the lymph system that well. No one does. We're the ones that's been flying in everybody's face. But if you look at this lacuna, you will see that yellowish white edge around it, giving it a definition, right? All right. So it's that white yellow in the wall that defines that lesion or that lacuna that is the lymph stagnation of that, and that's why it's defining it. You've got to break that lymph, and that's the cool part about that. You can see all this white lymph right here? And where is it connected to? So I'm going to hold this up and do this for you. It's connected right in. Well, let me get this for you better. This is connected right into the bowel wall. Right into the bowel wall. So there's a weakness right here. Well, you have a little bit, it looks like a minor prolapsing of the hepatic flexure anyway. Yeah, I only see one eye. So that's all we have. No, there's the other one. Okay, look at this. This is the left eye. Look at the lymph nodes over here. Look at the lymph nodes here. So we got to bust that loose. Look at all this thick lymph right here. This is in her back, or his thick lymph. And then look at this lacuna down in the lower back area. Bladder area. This is when you start getting in the bladder. Down in this area, you get into the female or male organs, and you get into rectal, and then you get it. Oh, what the heck is this? Take a guess. Left kidney and adrenal glands. Holy crap. So both of your kidneys and your adrenal glands are chronic. So we can love them. And when you love something in the body, it's an alkaline love. Acids are not a love. So, got to get those kidneys. You got to get the kidneys and the lymph. That's the secret of success of getting to Wellville. On that journey, you want to kill worms. Oh, man. Nice eyelashes, though. Now, you notice how this is a little orangey looking? Yeah, that's some nasty stuff coming out. I think it's inlated with sulfur and other things as well. Look at all that. That's what I'm saying. There is so much in people. It's not even funny. And for anybody to deny that, come on. We're all here on the planet as one. Remember, we all come from the same place. So you might look like you, and you might be a woman or a man, and I might look like me and be a woman or a man, but we all come from the same place. No matter what our bodies look like, no matter what our thoughts are, no matter what our emotions are, that just dictates your ability to realize or remember who you are. It's when you get so lost that... So, good job. Man, that's a good job. Okay. That's what this lady needs. A few worms will help take care of that, don't you think? God. Poor thing. Caroline. Hey, Caroline. Oh, Ascites. No way. Okay. you got to really go after your kidneys and adrenal glands and get your kidneys filtering. You do not want to overdo liquids, juicing and things like that. I wouldn't do it. I would just go on a grape diet, because there's some of the problems when you start getting edemic, and especially in the abdominal area and that, you're in trouble. That's all I can say, and not to be mean or anything, but when you start bloating up with water, and especially abdominally, you're in trouble. So you have to, and I would get on a bowel formula. You want to get on a detox kit. Go after the worms. Oh, hell yeah. But, you know, there's a lot more than just worms. There's flukes. There's all kinds of little things. Matter of fact, tell me what this thing is. Let me get it out of here. Yeah. Tell me what this little thing is. If we can see it. Where is he? Come here, little fella. Look at the legs on that thing. The lady with psoriasis get them out by the bushel barrel. And I mean, they look like little wasps with furry little bodies. Why? I have no idea. Man. Oh, thank you for your wonderful videos. Oh, thanks. Sometimes I get carried away, you know, but when you do so many videos, then the whole thing of these videos is to help you. Make sure that you get yourself out of trouble, and also maybe turn on to your true awareness, because you'll never be happier. The more free you get, the happier you'll get, because your ability to see more, know more, experience more, I think you can't even put a thing on that. So freeing yourself from the mental and emotional chains doesn't say you're not going to have the experience. It says you're not going to carry it mentally or emotionally. Therefore, you're free from that. You're free to experience it for what it is and to move to the next moment in time. Not carry the past with you. See, that's what you don't want to do. And only you can do this. You can go to a psychiatrist. You can do past life regressions and stuff like that. And sometimes those are pretty cool. But the reality is you're the one sitting in this physical body, and some of you here are not, but you still have bodies. I've really learned a lot. Oh, thanks. I'm trying to cover everything I possibly can. You know, I've had 53 years now, and probably, 40 seeing people. I can't find anything on Ascites. Can this be healed too with fruits and herbs? Which do you propose, please? Both. I am buying your products through a distributor in the Netherlands. Carolyn, if you can get the first kit, that's always important, because in that first kit, I'm going after. You don't have to do the circulation formula, okay? Brain and nerve is always good in the first kit because everything gets turned on, but you're after the kidneys, you're after the endocrinology, vital after the endocrine glands, whether it's parathyroid, adrenals, you're after the liver. Now, all the liver herbs, the barbarous herbs, they're good for every freaking thing on the planet. So you're taking herbs that are just hugging you and loving you all over, especially when they're made properly. They're loving you. And that's what you're taking them for, right? Because what do you've got in the body that you're dealing with? Cells and two fluids outside of the edema that you're dealing with. And that edemic, that water in the human being, is totally related to acidosis. And the degree of cationic involvement that body has. You can carry 20 pounds of water. Matter of fact, a good way a medical doctor can kill you. I've told you about a case or two before where they ordered so much water every hour and drowned them. You know, people don't realize hydration is one thing, and there's overhydration. And one of the problems is the more acidic you are, the more dehydrated, obviously, right? Because acids dehydrate. The problem is you can't catch up with hydration just by drinking water. If you're going to do anything like that thinking, you want to do fresh fruit juices. if you're going to think about that. But what is the main issue here? The dehydration issue. So that is what system. Your blood is not dehydrating you. If it did, see ya. Next life. Oh, hi, little baby. Yeah, you just dehydrated and killed yourself. Dehydration is an acid experience, like it or not, medical doctors, and people that are edemic are extremely acidic. Well, which system deals with acids? And it is not the blood. You would fail if you were in my class. It's the lymphatic system. And that's the one everybody's got to get on board with, because if you don't understand how we teach that and understand the kidneys and the skin and all the connections that the body has in its eliminative ability, then you're out on some limb far, far away on a branch that's about to break, still clinging on this ridiculous 17th century concept of diseases. I want to hang on to disease. Crack pop. See you later. So, again, in the bowel wall, and we saw this in the last eye pictures, that line around the gut wall. And by the way, that line shows us exactly what your gut wall looks like. Are you herniated? That sort of thing, where you have pocketed issues? Or are you prolapsed? Are you ballooned? All these things, And that's the beauty of iridology. But when you see a thick wall, you're driving down the road to ascites. And this is where you fill up edemically.
I'll be right back.
Okay. This is where you fill up edemically and destroy. That's a good way to die, I tell you what. So this got to get the kidneys filtering. Key uno number one. Got to get the adrenals up, right? Because you're holding. And you've got to get your body to release this. And it can't when you're acidic, so you have to hydrate. Proper hydration. And I would go on a grape diet. I wouldn't go on a grape juice diet. I'd go on a grape diet. No melons, nothing with a lot of water in it. You want to, grapes are balanced that way, and that's kind of the way I would go down that road. Get on the kidney formulas, the adrenals, get your GI tract formulas, the GI broom. Start pulling and cleaning on that wall, because you've got to get the body to break loose with this edema. Or this isn't a good thing. You see people with ascites, they're real bloated out like this. They're real bloaty, their bellies, so to speak, are bloated out with edema or water. No. Carolyn, let's get you fixed up and get that over with, and you will be a good woman right after that. Some things are more dangerous than people realize, and I don't know if medical doctors make that evident or not, but in my world, some of these things are very serious. Death is right there, right? Maybe not in your case, but, I still got, I've got all my bookcases. I got bookcases all down that wall. I got bookcases down this wall. And I still have one big container full. And then I have 3 big container fulls of books in my storage. I have no place to put them. You're not going to go back. But going through that, I found old Stanley Burroughs, the lemon juice diet, Yeah, I found all kinds of things. Like I said, 1,800 books. The original Tiger's Fang and In My Soul I'm Free books, first editions, all those sort of things. So all kinds of books, just from everything. Spiritual books, I got the Mormon books, I've got all the religious books. Good stuff. All right. Here's EBRU, female. And I apologize, I just, I could say, oh, country boy. Sorry about that. Belgium. Gosh, we don't talk to Belgium a lot. 31 years young. Oh, endometriosis and swelling. All right. So we got the same thing. You've got lymphatic stagnation in the wall of the uteri and probably vaginally as well. Cervix and everything else. This is where atypical cells are born vaginally. So the Heal All tea I designed for women initially, believe it or not, because for some reason I was getting a lot of endometriosis, atypical cells, cervical cancers, you name it, right on down that line. One year I just seemed to have so many. I said, I got to make a tea for these ladies. And so I made this tea to douche with. And basically we've discovered that within a week to 2 weeks you can turn atypical cells around with that tea. That's pretty good. So, but the bottom line is you can use a topical insertion. Get up in there. Matter of fact, I'm working with this new lab that we're going to do suppositories. And we can get suppositories up in you and help a lot with that. You could use any type of, like the ultimate salve. You could have a suppository like that, or you could insert some, believe it or not. It depends just how advanced these cases are. But all those leads to tumors and everything else are just not good. So one of the problems with endometriosis, it's so acidic, you have to be careful. I've said this many times. I've seen so many surgeries where they had to cut the uterus off the bowel wall. It just had welded itself. So this is kidney filtration time, and you just got to get it done. If you don't, I don't know how you get well. See the stuff in the bottom of that jar? That white stuff is what you want. That's all the crap. That's what you cough up. That's tonsil stones. That's, what's her name? It cuts tumors out of people. Dr. Pimple Popper. I suffer from endometriosis and adenominiasis or something like that crap. I'm doing right now a 60-day grape fat. Smart woman. Somebody grab this woman. She's a smart woman. How can I move on after this fast when it comes to food? All right. So I get it. So I always have fruit for breakfast. It would be rare. It would have to be like meeting a group of people for breakfast or something, which I just don't ever do. So it would have to be something like that or something for me to have something outside of that. Waffle or something like that I'm going to clog my bowels and, something like that. Who knows? But breakfast for me, if I don't do fruit for breakfast, I'm screwed the rest of the day. I don't know. My body just not right? And I drink fresh squeezed orange juice through the night, believe it or not. I'm up through the night a lot. And so I do a lot of fresh squeezed orange juice. For lunch, though, I like to have something. I really do. I like to have some cooked vegetables. I do. So the problem around where we are is there's no salads. These restaurants are just so bad. I mean, they're just so bad anymore on anything. You can't even get good vegetables. You got to go up to this big Amish restaurant up here to get home-cooked anything. And their salad bars to die for. They've got beets and everything else on it. I mean, just incredible, but it's like a 40-minute jaunt up. So I took some Amish people, brought them down here and tried to convince them this is a good place to have an Amish village because it is. There was, and they weren't interested, but it was because in Sarasota is a big Amish community, but the lots are expensive as all get out, and they're only 50 by 100 at best, and you just have a little house built on them, and most of them are all gone, and so it's all crammed in, and so here you've got acres and acres and acres, hundreds and thousands of acres to grow and have a nice community and have a nice restaurant. They have the same restaurant up in Indiana. It's 2-story, huge restaurants. But just, But that's the sort of thing at night I have to have my fruit. I like to go to bed feeling good and clean. I like my main meal at lunch, that sort of thing. That's just me. You never want to go to bed with a big gut full of food, and you don't want to wake up and have a big gut full of food for breakfast. If you do fruit for breakfast, after a little bit of getting used to that, you can't do without it because you have energy to lunch. Surprisingly, you have energy to lunch. Not surprising because it's an electrical diet. Most people eat a cooked dead diet, acidic diet for breakfast, and then they're like this. Oh. If you eat fruit, you're on, baby. But fructose is good for what? The nervous system. Remember? Yell, fructose, brain. I hope that changed some medical, of course, probably most of them didn't even read the study, my guess. Didn't even know anything about them. Good girl, man. How can I? Okay. I eat highly raw. Most what I eat is fruit. Sometimes I do cheat with cooked food, for example, something with sourdough bread, cooked vegetable meals, rice, and other grains, soups, and fats. So when I cheat, I don't do the rice. I don't do grains. I don't do breads. I don't do anything like that. I don't do dairy products. I don't do cheeses. I don't do anything like that. That crap doesn't enter my body. But I do like cooked vegetables. Green beans, fresh corn, carrots, carrots with maple syrup on them or something, stuff like that. That's kind of what I like when I'm talking about vegetables for lunch. Bread does not enter my world at all, breads and stuff like that. Maybe some corn chips, organic, natural corn chips with some whatever, rock or whatever. I don't eat animal products at all. Good girl. I'm scared that the swelling will, you do not want to eat animal food. Oh, the swelling will come back after the 60-day grape fast. Yeah, you want to keep moving, sweetie, for the next 6 months. And then go, you know what? I think I'll do it another 6 months. Really take this time to know that you've got to fix this problem because this is a serious problem and you're 31. And the thing is, you want to have babies and things like this. And the other problem, it isn't just the uterus or the ovaries, it's your vaginal canal. All of that. But the males have the same problem. It's the testicles and the penis. Gets backed up like anything else and makes that whole thing start curving. But acids. No location. So that's what, can you tell me more about this? I do have your book. It's a life change. Oh, thanks, man. I need to rewrite that thing. That's so old. Oh, my God. But when you cheat on vegetables. Make it worse with potatoes. French fries at the worst, but a baked potato or something. I used to get baked potatoes. When I first got into this, before I got to the fruit level, I would take a baked potato. I didn't know Willow Run. It was soy, but we didn't know at the time soy was so bad, right? So I put Willow Run, and then I'd put kelp and dulse. Just cover it with kelp and dulse all over that baked potato. It's still a baked potato. Didn't have a lot of kelp and dulse. But the butter, I'd rather use 100% real butter instead of soy butter. Monsanto. You dogs. Thought you got away with it, didn't you? Made a lot of money from it. So, same thing there. Clean your gut. You're going to clean your body up, but get your kidneys filtering, get your adrenals up. You're only 31. Get your bowels cleaned up. Make sure you don't have worms. This is what you do on your road to Wellville. You start your engine off and you go for it. You start flushing and hydrating and cleaning. Get the worms out. Get this out. Get the liver out. Get the bowel wall cleaned off. In the wall cleaned up. All of this stuff. That's what we're doing here, is making a new body from one that is ravished from the types of food it's been eating. And the body regenerates itself. But not under the acid sky. That's stupid to even think that. When you're in trouble, you do just what this lady's doing. When you're in trouble, you pull off and you do a grape diet. 30 days. Big deal. 2 weeks, okay? Big deal. It's your body's life that's at stake. So she did just right. And I would turn around, break it maybe for a week or so and turn around and do it again. Turn around and do it again. So you're so good physically that you love yourself again, and your body, you can't feel it. You don't even know you have a physical body. When your physical body is at the optimum, or getting toward that, you lose body consciousness. You don't even know you have one. Especially if you're working in the now and you're working with consciousness instead of thought and the mind. You lose this because there's no obstructions to the flow of energy anymore, where you feel that either with pain or whatever. It's just an energy flow, an energy body now. Cool stuff, and really worth doing it. Because dying with ascites or anything like that, or having your uterus ripped out and cervix and all this, you can do that. But then you've got adhesion, scar tissue, and haven't done anything to fix the problem, so all the other tissue still has lymphatic stagnation involved, right? Right. So it comes back to fixing it. I've got a new tea out. It's a head-to-toe detox fix-it tea. I used to have got the book fairly done. It was a fix-it diet. You know, everybody came out with all these diets, you know, and I was going to come out with the fix-it diet. Instead of coming out with a diet to lose weight, fix it. Fix why you're overweight. Fix these things, and then enjoy your new world of life and happiness and vitality and awareness. It's your journey, not mine. It's your journey. But I'll be glad to put my arm around you and walk with you. I'll let everybody else keep moving. We're still moving, believe it or not. This is Sandy Black, female from Australia, where everything hurts. One of our people, she left Hawaii and went to Australia, and she wrote me, and she said, everything over here is poisonous. Oh, this lady's 61. Sandy of 61 years young, my body is displaying symptoms of Paget's nipple disease. Would you kindly advise your wisdom for symptoms of Paget nipple disease in the left nipple? All right. How many sides are there to chemistry? Oh, only 2. All right. So which side do you think is aberrating and making that thing shrivel up and go down? Which one do you think that is? That's the acid side of chemistry. So then hitchhike that into your body, and you're looking, go, well, look, my breast, my nipples made of cells and 2 fluids. I don't see anything else there. Bunch of cells and 2 fluids. Oh, well, what could be aberrating my nipple? Or why could I be feeling a lump in there? Or, you know, you can keep on going down that road, right? But what are we dealing with? We're dealing with a breast, and we're dealing with all cells that make up all this tissue. And then we're dealing with the blood flow and a lymph flow out. So we got nutrition and energy coming in to these cells, and we got lymph coming out. Oh, God. Oh, whoa. Whoa. This is always a lymphatic acidic problem. And you really want to get a hold of this, because that is suggestive of what might be coming to the breast itself. And unfortunately, everything happens to the nipple. I mean, these tumors want to go right out that nipple. Then it's like, oh, God. I just feel for the females and stuff like that, what they have to go through. But, you know, all humans, you know, we've been lied to and so far off of balance. And I look at this and I say, when you visit other planets, you'll see what I mean. When you travel and you're going, why? Humans haven't got up off the toilet yet. But that's the way I would go with that 30-day grape diet right now. Even though these things look like they're slow, and I don't know the rate that you're watching this deterioration or this changing. And I use the word deterioration because that's what acids do. They deteriorate, and then you start to see muscle, tendon, everything else starting to go with that. You're starting to see the changes of the tissue and the hardening of the tissue, the swelling of the tissue. All of those things you see are all under the acid sky and all under the lymphatic system. If not, you wouldn't be alive. Just remember that. If it's a blood problem and it deals with an acid pH, you wouldn't be alive. So there's only one system, obviously, left, and it's a lipid-based system. Matter of fact, that lady was talking about having lipids for, as a cheat. A lot of times, if your lymph system and your gallbladder isn't working right, you crave, lipids. So that's what I would do. Definitely go after that. And the same thing, and while we're talking about female and male parts, same thing if your penis is crooked and everything else, you've got to know that lymph is going to shrink you, all these things like that. It can swell you, but and eventually it's just going to deteriorate things, and that's unacceptable. And then you have a lot of males have testicular problems, and the females have uterine and cervix, and it's all lymphatic, all related to what? Kidney and adrenal glands and your diet. So you just got to get your kidneys filtering and clean the body, get the worms out. I mean, have fun with this. I just think that health is fun. Spirituality is fun. That's why I'm in my 70s and still popping it, Because shit, it's fun. It's invigorating. What else you got to do on this boring planet? I know. What's Skinwalker Ranch? Did you guys catch that one? Skinwalker. Ooh, they're getting instances of stuff, aren't they? You see that calf going around and around and around, and then the blood vessels blew in his eyes? Whew-wee, man. You got to be careful. A lot of people don't realize. They think every UFO and everything, especially these, I don't know what I want to call them, but, everybody's friendly out there. No, they're not. No, they're not. Be careful what you think about aliens. Shouldn't even be still doing that to us. Yeah. There's a whole thing going on with that. That's all I got to say, and a whole bunch of things going on with that. And this is Deborah. Ooh. Let's see. Question. I can't even pronounce that. Anesthesia? I don't know. I can't pronounce that worth of crap. Please help. I have a condition on my inner eyelids called... And it's Xanthelasma. Jesus criminy, man. Basically, it's cholesterol deposit. And a word like that. So basically, it's a cholesterol deposit. It's been spreading around my eyes for quite some time. It's very unsightly. I know exactly what you're talking about. Seen it. Know exactly what you're talking about. And you know what's funny? I don't know how old you are, Deborah, but you see them on the old, especially the old dudes that are so acidic. You really see that. Do you have cataracts with this at all? It's very unsightly, and I can't find any natural cures other than garlic. No. This is garlic. Yeah. We're living back in the old 1950s again. But no, this is lymphatics. Remember, cholesterol is a lymphatic issue. Cholesterol is your lymphatic fluids. So where you see deposits of cholesterol, guess what you've got? What you call a glomulation. And a glomulation means you have a glomulation of lipids there, which means that you have lymphatic problems in your head. And if you don't have cataracts, I would be amazingly surprised. I think you ought to get a picture of your eyes and take a look that you don't have any cholesterol rings. How old are you? And that really doesn't seem to matter. I see cholesterol rings in 30-year-olds now. I would greatly appreciate some insight on this condition and some remedies to rid this. I'm a 58-year-old female. All right, 58. And this started around age 50. I enjoyed watching your videos. I am going to embark on a journey of cleansing soon. Thank you so much. Sincerely, Debbie. Hey, Debbie. Let's get them off of there. Your body, they'll come right off. But you've got to get your lymphatic system moving up in the head area. I would do hot and cold in the showers. I would do my neurolymphatics down my back and upper neck. Definitely do on a grape diet sort of thing. Get my bowels cleaned up so you can drain your head, especially the transverse here. Play that game. Because there's nothing you can take to dissolve cholesterol other than getting yourself alkaline. And then cholesterol will go back into its medium again. And the body will discharge any over amounts of it. So again, getting yourself moving up in here lymphatically is really going to be key for a lot of reasons. Alzheimer's, right? Alzheimer's is where you've got a amyloid plaque, they call it. It's just lymphatic stagnation everywhere. Same thing everywhere. because that's all there is. See, if you keep it simple, right now the world is intellectually banging each other's head and going nowhere because the answers are not found in the mind. The mind is a programmable instrument. The truth is outside of the computer in the programmer, which is you. And if I took the little you out, I'm looking at God. Don't forget it. Yeah, so same thing, honey. You just gotta get. I mean, I don't even know if you could do any type of eye wash. I mean, you could use our eye wash. It's real strong at blood and lymph movement, and hope that absorbs in and has some effect with there on the eyelids and stuff. You could do that. You could take that eye wash by mouth. Be helpful. So I would do the eye wash probably by eye, get an eye cup, do your internal that way, going after kidneys and adrenals. You're going after your lymphatic system. Let's face it, you're going after the system that cholesterol is involved in. Cholesterol's not involved in the blood. You might see some leaking in there, big deal. Your main cholesterol system, the blood is not a lipid transport system. And you don't want it to be. Because now you're going to go from 1 minute going around the body to 5 minutes. Come on, oxygen. Hurry, hurry. I need to breathe. Hurry, hurry. Oh, my God. I got time for one more. They'll kill me, but I love my new office. I've got a whole setup over here for recording. Pat's going to be here on the 5th. We're going to start recording the books. I mean, here I thought I'd have these books out to you. You know, the Fruitarian book and the lymphatic books. These are good books. I tell you, Pat keeps coming up with research. And Walker, I didn't know Walker was at this level. He had developed a scope more powerful than a electron scope. And he looks at the sub-cracks within the teeth because the type of foods you eat determine the types of cracks that develop in your teeth. These micro cracks in your teeth. So interesting. It's just phenomenal. And of course, we're going to put all of Walker's work in the book because that was about 10 million, I think, maybe 15 million, but he did go back 20 million. So we're going to go back 20 million years in the hominids and then into the Homo erectus, even though Homo erectus seems to have a little more omnivorish to it, and then into the Homo sapien. So that's all. We're going to cover all this in the Fruitarian book. So there'll be no question of what man's diet should be. And we have so much to go in the book. We have our clinical side. I mean, I have 53 years of clinicals with fruit. And I mean, look at our successes. Holy crap. So we've got a lot to go into that book, How to Raise Your Kids on Fruits. I mean, this is a very intense book. It's all a V book. It's a video book, but when we're going to convert it. But there's a lot of work in this. So Pat can't get here till the 5th of August. I think she took summer class. Pat. But we're getting all set up over here with cameras and everything to shoot that. Pretty wild. So this is Phila Downs, female, United States, 45 years young. She's only 5'5". So you know where I'm going to go. Whenever I see anything under 5'7", 5'8" on a female or a male, you know I'm going to go to the pituitary because on the Homo sapiens side, we might have come through different groups that had different shortness. Because there was the real short humans and then the real tall humans. Remember they found those extremely tall humans? And then the real little people they found. And then there's that one group, yeah, it was on History or Discover Channel, and it was where they eat people. They're little bitty humans, and they still tribal children. One of the researchers that went back, these were bird watchers, went back, got eaten. One guy made it out. They threw him in jail, calling him a cannibal, eating his partners. When they finally found the camera that had gotten somehow shuffled away, and these guys were filming all these, and they're, oh my God, on film, all these little people which were cannibals. And it's still there today. People are afraid to go back too far in there. And it's New Guinea or somewhere. It's like, holy crap. Whoa. I'm not sure what I'm looking at. Is that a tumor on the back? Is this a neck? Or what am I looking at here? Let me see. All right. Oh, I think I'm going to have a black salve coming out. I'm trying to twist the arm of my lab to have some a corrosive salve like a black salve, and I think he's into it. I'm going to have a very, my lymphatic formulas are different. I am going to have an aggressive lymphatic formula with poking blood, but I'm heading for a black salve because we need to get some of these tumors out of people. And there's hardly anything on the market. I can't believe it. Concerned melanoma on the skin. All right, so, what's the skin made of? Cells, right? And no matter where you go with cells, you have two things that are essential to the life of a cell. You have nutrition, blood, energy, whatever you want to call that side of it, right? Kitchen, yep. And then you've got to remove the waste, just like anything else. You got to poo-poo, pee-pee poo-poo. So your skin is not breathing properly. You're not sweating properly, I don't imagine, or anything else. You want to look at your thyroid, make sure your basal temperature's under your arm before you get out of bed in the morning is in the mid to upper 97s, upper far better, because mid is getting into hypo. And make sure you can sweat, right? Because you're eliminating when you sweat. And then wash because you're going to be sweating acids out. Same thing with internal. You've got to get your lymphatic system moving and filtering through your kidneys, whether it's a melanoma, whether it's a breast tumor. I don't care what kind of tumor it is and where it is. Same problem. What side of chemistry is breaking down your skin cells? Basal, squamous, who cares? Same problem. Now, you can say the sun bit me, and you might be right, but the sun, your body would be directly responsible for that. One, maybe you live in it too much, but number two, your body needs to produce more melanin, and maybe you can't do that. Or maybe D, your body produces D vitamins to help, it's like D3, to help with the full spectrum lighting, radiation. Your body kicks up the production of even E when these things happen. It depends your environment. Not under these fluorescent. Well, these are not fluorescent. These are your new. We had to change everything in this building. Holy crap! But LEDs and stuff like that. Anyway, I'm going to get too lost, but got to get your lymphatic system. So with a case like this, I'm going to what that other lady's doing. I'm going to go on a 30-day grape diet. And I'm probably going to go on another one and another one until I clean this up. Now, you can put our ultimate salve right on the skin there, and that should clear that up, heal that up real nicely for you. But use the ultimate salve. But that's a huge warning that inside of you, you've got a serious agglomeration lymphatically. And you just got to get all that moving. When your body's clean, everything's moving, your body is more in an alkaline state. So when you're out in the sun, your body sucks that full spectrum lighting in and goes, thank you, that feels so good. Oh, God, that sun feels so good. I'm getting too white. I got to get in some sun. But that's what pulling sun is. It makes you feel good. Too much, you start to feel the acidosis of it. But that's directly related to the level of acidosis that your body is in. When your body's alkaline, you can live in the sun and just live out there for hours and just feel good, good, good. The more acidic you are, the more burn you do. It's a two-way street. But the sun is acidic, and you got to watch that when you're acidic. So you get your body lymphatic system moving and get yourself in an alkaline state. But that's what I do for this. Hi, what protocol can I get on? Get on a lymphatic draining protocol. Kidneys, adrenals, get your bowels cleaned up, get your thyroid up there. Make sure your basal temperatures are up in the upper 97 so you can sweat. It's vital to sweat. And your skin holds subcutaneously. It can hold, and then there you go. Anywhere you see accumulation of acids, the cells around there are not going to be happy campers. That's why there's tumors and cysts and boils. That's why the body's trying to isolate this lymphatic sewage, this acid sewage, from the cells to protect the cells. The body isn't stupid. And then a medical doctor goes popping those open. Let's see if there's cancer cells in there. Ooh. What products to begin detoxing internally and externally for this potential melanoma? Yeah, I would go on a good fruit diet. Go after the detox kit in its full array. Deworm, as you've seen, deworm yourself. Get your kidneys filtering. That's the key. Kidney filtration is always the key. I would be curious if we used maggots and a grape fast, how much we could get done on this one. I would, but that's key. Or that's the result in some people. And that can be your uterus. This can be your liver. This can be your heart. This can be your lungs. And guess what? This can be your brain. Same thing. That's all just tissue and acids. That's the sad part about all that. I don't want to go to a Western doctor. I do not have health insurance and money is limited, but my friend is a doctor I saw for the first time in 6 years and told me to get it checked out ASAP. Bottom line, get yourself on a grape diet ASAP. Because what are they going to tell you? The Harvard study goes, the sooner the diagnosis, the sooner the treatment, the sooner the death. I've got all these cancer studies. I'm putting them together. I mean, it doesn't look good for the AMA or oncology. I lived in California without sunscreen, and this sunspot exploded, but exploded because of your lymph system underneath, dear one. It is flat with irregular borders, colors, and dark spot. It was a lot darker, like black. I have been putting vitamin C powder, thinking it is a sunspot, and now is more darker brown. Yeah, vitamin C, ascorbic acid. So you're putting another acid on top of an already acid condition. What are you thinking? Right. Yeah, you want comfrey salve, burdock salve, find something like that if you really want to heal this. Get plantain, get some raw plantain out in your yard, or find raw plantain. That grows everywhere in the world almost. Get it up there, bruise it really good, put it on there, put a wrap on there, and let it heal it. It might have some drawing power, plantain would. Same thing, make a poultice of burdock, comfrey root or leaf, any of this sort of stuff. Yeah. But the problem is internal. Yeah, the sun is an exacerbator, no question, but it's not supposed to be. We can argue Van Allen belt, we can argue all the different layers of protection is thinner now, we can argue all kinds of things. But the bottom line, your body is supposed to kick up the D&E productions when you get into the sunlight, whenever you get into radiation exposure. Your body does this naturally to protect itself. But we're so agglomerated, it's a wonder what your body can do naturally anymore, It was a lot darker, like black. I have been I wanted to lighten it cosmetically. I am willing to change my life and diet to heal this completely. Good, honey. Please tell me what to do, and I will do it. Thank you. Get yourself on the diet. It's on all these videos, all of this stuff like that. I'm going to submit to you. I want you to think about your pituitary. I want you to think about your parathyroid and thyroid glands as related to the pituitary and your adrenal glands. Excuse me. I want you to think about those because all those are going to be related to the functionability of kidneys or anything else. Your pituitary is your main gland there, right? It's I call it the antenna of the hypothalamus, but at the same time, you're showing a weakness in that. Well, that then shuts down the thyroid, parathyroid, where you're a woman. You want good bones, good teeth, all the things like that, and you're only 45. So you really want to go after that parathyroid, and of course it's going to hiccup on your adrenals. And then your lymphatic system, where you wouldn't have that problem. This is a lymphatic problem. Location. And have fun with this. Get the worms out, do a kit, and really go have some fun with this. And clean your body out, and feel good again. And get your skin cleaned up. You can do dry skin brushing, all of this sort of thing. But the bottom line, it's an internal agglomerated problem of the lymphatic system. And all you got to do is get your kidneys to filter that, hydrate yourself properly with electrons, meaning don't just drink water. Get yourself an electrical side of that. Apple juice, pear juice, lemon juice, I don't care. But grape juice, anything like that to give yourself some actual good hydration of electrons. Now we're talking. All right, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate your waiting. We got ourselves mostly moved in. That's exciting. Now I got to go fill holes in walls and stuff where all my degrees and pictures and everything was hanging. And so we got some work to still get out of there, but we're in. Love you guys. Namaste. Thank you.